Hello guys, Conkeronine here again, and I finally decided to do my first video game review. Sorry it's taken me so long to do an actual video game review, but I wanted to make sure that the review was actually good. Tonight, I decided to review one of my all-time favorite games, Killer Instinct, for the Super Nintendo, released by Rare and Nintendo in 1995. And I finally decided to review it this night to celebrate the brand new Killer Instinct game that's coming out in November for the Xbox One. So, let's start the review. Killer Instinct takes place in the far future, where governments have been replaced by corporations, and the most powerful one is Ultratech. Ultratech is used in their tournament to test many of their new technologies and experiments. And what was once a regular martial arts tournament then became a tournament where you fight to survive, and they call it Killer Instinct. Sindar was a small-time criminal released from prison for Ultratech's twisted uses. His fate was just to be used as a human guinea pig for their new chemical weapon test. Unfortunately, his body was consumed by flames. For him to get a cure and be free from prison, he must win the Killer Instinct tournament and kill the ice alien Glacius. Jago is a Tibetan warrior monk ninja who's on a quest for enlightenment by the great tiger spirit to enter the Killer Instinct tournament and destroy the true evil within Ultratech. Fulgor is a prototype cybernetic soldier created by Ultratech. To prove that the prototype is successful, they enter in the Killer Instinct tournament to destroy anything that gets in its way in the tournament. Glacius is an ice alien from a distant planet who's been captured by Ultratech. For him to be free and get his ship fixed, he must win the Killer Instinct tournament and kill the human flame experiment, Sindar. B.Orchid is an undercover spy working for an unknown party to find out what Ultratech's true goals and plans are. Unfortunately, she's been caught hacking into Ultratech offices and is forced to be a fighter in the Killer Instinct tournament. Riptor is a Velociraptor human hybrid and is one of Ultratech's other unique concepts. Riptor may only be 4 years old, but at this age it finally shows its true strength, brutality, and its first human kill. Spinal is a reanimated skeleton created by Ultratech that comes from the remains of an old ancient warrior. Unfortunately, Spinal finds himself in the shadows of Ultratech's other experiments and begins to have tormenting flashbacks of his past life that he cannot quite remember. Saberwolf was just once a normal man, but after one day being bitten by a werewolf, he has turned into a werewolf himself, shunned by society and desperately trying to find a cure. Saberwolf enters the Killer Instinct tournament to finally get a cure and get his humanity back. TJ Combo was a heavyweight boxing champion for 5 long years. After losing his belt and title due to him cheating by having cybernetic implants in his arms, Combo enters the Killer Instinct tournament and returns to his old ghetto haunts, defying the world at large and reaching the top once more. Chief Thunder is a Native American warrior. After many weeks and months have gone by, Chief Thunder does not know if his brother won the Killer Instinct tournament or has lost. Thunder enters the Killer Instinct tournament to search and find out what happened to his brother. And finally, Idol, a two-headed monster from another dimension that's been freed by Ultratech, and to be the final opponent of the Killer Instinct tournament, and to be the most dangerous. Killer Instinct is very similar to other fighting games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, but the difference is Killer Instinct is all about the combos. How many combos can you do, and if you can pull off an ultra combo or do a combo breaker. And when you do a combo, the voice announcer, who's voiced by Chris Sutherland, will tell you how many combos you pulled off. If you pulled off like 4 combos, it will be a super combo. Or 8 hits, it will be an awesome combo. Or a combo up to 20 or 30 hits will be an ultra combo. Now, the combo system can be a little bit difficult to master, but once you know how to pull off combos, it's extremely fun. but you gotta be careful still, because the computer or your opponent can do a combo breaker on you, easily breaking your combo you were doing. And like with Mortal Kombat, there are also fatalities and stage fatalities. But they're not too violent, and they're not as violent and gory as Mortal Kombat. They're just more simple, and there are some fatalities that are pretty silly, such as a humiliation where you can make your opponent dance if you still have your first life bar. It's pretty hilarious. And also, for those who are newcomers to Killer Instinct, I advise you to play as Sindar first, because he's a character for beginners and he's very easy to play as. So if you're new to Killer Instinct, I advise you to play as Sindar first, and then slowly work up to play as Jago, Orchid, Glacius, and every other character. Same time, he also has a move where he can turn his flames down, and projectiles can just go right through Sindar. So with this move, it's easy to take out Fulgore and Idol really, really easy with Sindar. But just make sure not to get hit, otherwise you'll lose it. And yes, you can even play as the final boss Idol as well. To play as him, you have to pick Sindar and put a cheat code at the versus screen. And when it says Idol at the versus screen, that lets you know that you did it right. Now, do I have any problems with this game? Well, yes, there are a couple of problems with Killer Instinct. Here's my biggest one. There's no stage selection in Killer Instinct. The only way, if you're playing 2-player mode, the only way to choose a level you want to play in is by putting a cheat code in when you're done choosing your characters. In which, in my opinion, I find that pretty stupid. Was it really that hard to put in a stage select screen? I mean, it couldn't have been that hard. The other thing is that the computer can be cheaply difficult sometimes. Not a hard good, but I mean a cheaply hard. Where they'll constantly do combo breakers on you and constantly block every move that you do. Now, Killer Instinct only has a few minor problems, but Killer Instinct does have a lot of good things going for it. First one, the music is frickin' awesome. In fact, when you originally bought Killer Instinct for the Super Nintendo back then, you would get a CD with the game called Killer Cuts, containing the game's soundtrack and a secret bonus track with the Humiliation song. And that is pretty frickin' awesome. The other thing, the graphics. Now, the graphics may not look as beautiful and good as the arcade version, but for the Super Nintendo, the graphics look pretty damn good. The graphics are just like Donkey Kong Country. Like with Donkey Kong Country, Killer Instinct's graphics were created with the advanced supercomputer, a computer that's been used in big Hollywood movies such as Jurassic Park and Terminator 2. And most importantly, Killer Instinct's gameplay in a nutshell is just fun, and it does have a lot, and I mean a lot, of replay value. I've been playing this game for so many years, and I keep coming back to it because it's just that fun. Killer Instinct first started in the arcades in 1994, and originally it was going to be called Brute Force, or Thriller Instinct. And characters like Orchid and Glacius looked a bit different, and characters like Sindar and Saberwolf had different names, like Meltdown and generically named Werewolf. And like I said, the arcade graphics look a lot more beautiful and a lot more nicer to look at, and there's a lot more going on in the backgrounds. And originally, Killer Instinct was going to be ported to the Nintendo Ultra 64, but due to hardware limitations and the N64 getting delayed again, Rare decided to port Killer Instinct to the Super Nintendo. Now, to make up for the graphics not being as beautiful as the arcade version, Rare decided to put the game in a sweet, awesome black cartridge, and giving you the Killer Cuts CD for free, and giving you more options. A 2-player mode, tournament mode, practice mode, and options. Final thoughts is that Killer Instinct is one of the funnest games ever to play by yourself or with a friend. It's one of the best fighting games ever made, and it's one of the best video games ever made. And I am so gosh darn happy to see the series finally making a comeback now in 2013. Heck yeah! It's great to see you back, Killer Instinct, and I am so freaking happy. In my opinion, I give Killer Instinct for the Super Nintendo a 10 out of 10. with the title
Ultra Combo!
This is Conkeronine signing out. Hope you enjoy the review, and thank you for watching.